Hello, sir.
Hello to yourself. I really appreciate you doing this. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I've been looking forward to it all day, so it's great to catch up with you.
Peace. For me, interviews are like a break from the domestic bliss of being a full-time carer.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I can imagine that's quite challenging for you, but you've got a smile on your face, so life's obviously.
Yeah, well, it's if you really love the person you're with, you take all of it, the good and the bad. And I found that as the years now have drifted by with her illness, it's getting easier.
Really?
Not hard. Yeah, they promised me that it would get harder.
Yeah.
But I find I really, really do just love caring for people.
Okay.
It's always been my nature.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I wanted to ask, I mean, do you think, given your kind of experiences, looking back, do you think that's, if you hadn't gone into music, that's something you'd have gone into as maybe a career?
I don't know. I mean, my mother was ill a lot when I was young, right, before I got ill. And so I had to look after my younger brothers because my dad had to work away a lot because, you know, we were very, very broke as a family, financially. And so it's a natural instinct. If I see somebody needs help, I help. Yeah. It's something I found out about myself when I was very young. Right, okay. And I don't want no reward system in it at all. It's just the joy of helping someone is the reward.
It's a great attribute to have.
I hate Christmases and birthdays because people want to give you socks or something. Please don't give me nothing.
I can't
give me your company. Give me your honesty, and I'm rocking with you.
Brilliant, excellent. Well, I mean,
that's what you always say when you don't get fuck all at Christmas.
Yeah, except socks and underpants. And I've got plenty of those. Fit. Yeah, I've got plenty of those.
Lucky you.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. None of them match.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the joys of being a useless male.
It's like that, isn't it? Bloody hell. Even worse when you have to pick them out yourself in the store. Oh,
yeah.
Does Sir really want all red underwear?
I'll still get them not to match.
All right.
Perfect. So, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. First, obviously, the tour's coming up. I mean, you've talked recently about. I mean, you mentioned Karen and your wife. You've talked about a bit, obviously, the difficulty of being over the other side of the world when you're on tour. As the tour's kind of getting closer, I mean, have your feelings changed towards that and kind of leaving home for?
Yeah, no, it breaks my heart to do it. But this time in, my brother and his wife, they're going to move in. And we've interviewed some really, really good carers this time. So it won't be quite so dramatic as it had to be last year. And lots of problems came with the drama of last year. But the weight is off at the moment. It'll be all right. It's a nice, easy transition, but it still upsets me, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've also, I mean,
she wakes up at night and she'll hold her hand and go, Johnny. She still remembers me, and if that went away, I'd be ever so sad.
Yeah, because I know my grandparents. It's the same.
You know that. That's a walking stick.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, from your time caring for Nora, I mean, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself?
To do without so much sleep. Lucky if I get 4 hours a night, really. But to be so attentive at 24/7, it requires that you shift the emphasis inside your brain. You can't wander off in selfish oblivion of writing songs, for instance, and ignore her.
Yeah.
The attention has to be completely withdrawn from within yourself.
Yeah.
And be outwards towards her and her needs. And why not?
Absolutely.
But it's a very hard switch to make. It really is. You go through the first moments of this illness, really, really wondering how you're going to be able to cope. But then it clicked one day and bang, it's all right now.
Yeah. What was that kind of? What was that moment when it clicked?
I've been able to understand that this is a part of my personality now. It's not me like forcing anything at all. I do it willingly.
Yeah.
You know, accepting.
Yeah. I mean, you've made some huge life-changing decisions, like giving up drinking. I mean, was the lifestyle of being a 24/7 carer, was that a kind of instigator for that?
No. I don't know. Yes, I have given up drinking. I do have a sneaky little one on the weekend. When my brother and his wife and their dogs come over, I can switch off for a bit.
Yeah.
And I could get to watch an Arsenal game, you know, or Formula One, or I know it's agony, isn't it?
I'm an Evertonian. Don't worry about it.
Well, you know, that's what football is. It's there to, you know, to play with your emotions, the swings and roundabouts of outrageous fortune.
Yep, absolutely.
They're all enjoyable. Well, you're experiencing tragedy.
Yeah.
But you can actually fall in love with that moment.
Yeah. I think my flatmate said to me once, he goes to the football because it takes him away from the normal life.
Yeah, but then you find out that is normal. Yeah. And you have to exercise your emotions in as many outlets as you possibly can. You'd only be taking it all out on the missus.
No comment.
That's what away fans are for.
Absolutely. I've been on the receiving end a few times. And you get dropped off in the middle of a housing estate and the bus driver's like, yep, I'm not going any further with you lot.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we've done that. Coming out of West Ham as well, and done it all.
No, Everton are well respected, so don't you worry.
We'll be all right, hopefully. One thing I wanted to ask as well, I mean, obviously the situation with your wife. I mean, just going off seeing her quality of life and the quality of life she's doing, how much of a motivator is that for you to keep you driven to go forward? And to do something like...
Well, it's like this, that there's more to life than your selfish feelings of pain and inadequacy.
Yeah.
You know, and that there's other people that really do need your help and your attention. Yeah. And actually, that would be our fan base too.
Yeah.
And I have to sort of juggle all of this and hopefully come out well out of it. It's an uphill battle. Yeah. I can't let fans down. I have to perform. It's the only thing I know how to do it well.
Yeah.
You know, painting, you know, whatever. Right? These are like it's refresher courses really in humanity.
Yeah.
And you either learn to cope with all of life's emotions and whatever it throws at you, or you make a mess of it and become a drug addict and an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I've known quite a few of them, and I don't want to be like that.
No, nobody wants to go down that path. Absolutely, I agree with you on that.
Oh, it's great if you get a weekend off, though.
Absolutely. I mean, looking ahead to the tour then, it's your first time out in 4 years. Obviously, I guess that's down to lockdown and the pandemic. I mean, is this tour been delayed? Is this kind of...
It's been incredibly frustrating, the lockdown, because for me, I've not seen any good come out of that. Particularly bearing in mind that what Nora needs a lot of his company and conversation. Yeah. Although people might not understand she can't get the sentences right, but she just loves to be in company. And lockdown meant no one. For months on end, years on end. And that was a terrible thing for her to understand. And when somebody did come, they'd be wearing a mask. So she couldn't understand what they were saying or what this mask, and it made her feel guilty about herself.
Wow, okay. I mean, that must have been difficult for you to watch.
No, and I know what governments are, and they'll juggle facts and figures to suit their own purposes.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a rabbit hole I've got to be careful of getting involved in. It's like, for me, it's all about protecting my lovely baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's much more healthier than I am. God, I'm the one prone to respiratory illnesses and diseases, and yet somehow last year I managed to go on a book tour. That's the only thing they would let us do. And that was a meet and greet, hug and kiss affair beyond belief. That was packed houses every night of people that really, really wanted to physically connect with me in a friendly way. And I wasn't going to deny them that.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to sit there in a mask, and I wasn't going to ask an audience to sit there in masks.
Yeah.
If there are those who feel they're ill and don't want to transfer an illness, wear a mask. I'll understand.
Yeah, it's giving people that choice, isn't it, to make their own decision.
Yeah, the Japanese are very good with this. They do it by choice, not mandate.
Okay.
They're kind and considerate people.
Excellent. So, I mean, how ready
we have to be shoved under a bus about it?
We're heading down that rabbit hole.
You're going to wreck all our chances of making any money at all to keep ourselves barely in a subsistence level.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're frightened of a variant of the flu.
No, don't. Yep, we're going down that. We're going to go down that rabbit hole in a bit.
It's so tempting.
I know.
Can't leave it alone.
So, I mean, regardless of the book tour and the spoken word tour, how ready are you to get back on stage and give fans what they want? Are you?
Oh God, really eager, but even more so than the past. Stage fright, nervous. It's been so long.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Oh, you're worried. You don't remember your chops. Your breathing, and how to structure the sentences without asphyxiating.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. A singer has a certain amount of skills to project what it is you're trying to transfer to an audience, and those skills can be forgot.
Really? Well, I didn't think that was especially.
It's not quite. Yes, it's like riding a bicycle, but you still fucking fall over after 4 years.
Took me 4 years to learn.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But then again, it's compared to what other people go through. Who the hell am I to complain?
Yeah.
I think I've got quite an easy life, really, compared to others.
It's all good. I mean, there's some firsts on it. But I mean, even this point of your career, there's still some firsts on this tour. I believe you're going to Belfast for the first time.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I was going to ask, what are you expecting from a Belfast crowd?
Oh, I'm expecting Polish football hooligans, because they were the last bunch to make a horrible noise there.
Yep. Yeah, I can't believe in however long, I don't know, 40 years, you've never been to Belfast with any of your band?
Very dangerous to promoters. They wouldn't take us on.
Really?
It certainly wasn't, And a few offers that were tended to come from people with political leanings.
Right.
Sorry, I don't play that game,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not supporting anything that mandates the killing of another human being. So there you go.
Yeah, wow, that's really surprising hearing that, but yeah. Okay, so it's been 44 years now since the first Public Image Limited album came out. In terms of a set list, how do you pull it together with that amount of a catalogue, that size of a catalogue?
A mix and match. It all depends on what we feel like in rehearsal and what works. And then, of course, we'll rehearse more than the set, so that we have variables according to the give and take with the audience. The songs are always experimented with on stage. They will never turn out to be exact copies of the record. We make records, and I've always made records as a rough guideline to live performance.
Right. Okay. Is there any from you?
And that keeps it incredibly fresh. And as I said, as soon as I make eye contact and I see somebody crying because I'm singing a particularly grief-ridden stanza or line in a song that affects me so deeply personally, once I clue in, they're sharing that with me. They have similar experiences. That takes us to an all-time high of dealing with emotions properly.
Yeah, I was going to say, how rewarding for you is that, seeing somebody connect you on that level?
That's the whole joy and point. It's the only thing out of being in a music industry that I've come to truly appreciate. The rest is tosh.
That's another
toffees.
That's another rabbit hole, though, isn't it? We'll go down that later as well. I mean, is that something that you kind of got when going back to the Sex Pistols? Is that the same sort of connection?
I just, it was a complete shock to me that my songs were so deeply felt by so many people.
Yeah.
Really hooked into what I was saying and understood how deeply passionate I was, and they were just as equally there too. Yeah. It's such a tragedy that what's happening with the Sex Pistols now is totally devoid of all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
They used, the Disney Corporation used them, let's put it that way, to ostracize me from a documentary, mockumentary we should call it, which is, again, mostly all about me. From what I can see from the adverts, it's all my picture.
Yeah.
And yet I haven't seen not one script, nothing.
Yeah.
Not one bit of footage. They do not want me involved in any way, shape or form. So to me, this is fake Pistols.
Yeah. It kind of leads into my next question. There's been quite a bit of Sex Pistols news recently, and not a lot of it's not John Lydon approved. I mean, given your life now and your priorities obviously lying elsewhere, does it piss you off?
How could I approve of something that I was deliberately kept from?
Yeah,
it's a ridiculous position for them to try and defend that.
Yeah.
I am very, very worried for Mr. Danny Boyle that he'll finally have proved that he really is one of those horrid left-wing student Clash fans. And I think that might be what he tries to turn the Pistols into, which we most definitely are not. We're working class, right?
Yeah,
we're loyal to ourselves. We are. We don't tell lies and fibs amongst our own.
Yeah. Does it piss you off that you're still having to deal with things like that at this stage?
Very much so. It shouldn't be.
Priorities.
It should not be. It's ultimately a grab for the money. They'll sell everything they can in the most tackiest way possible. They don't care about content. They don't care about artwork. They don't care about respect for the fans.
Yeah.
And I was the only obstacle in the way of that. So the Disney Corporation removed me because I can't fight their money.
Yeah, but
I put every penny I had basically into that, because I think in point of principle, I should do that.
Yeah. To me,
stand up for what I know is right. I can't let people just try to run over me like that. But now I'm outvoted, and some of the product that they want to bring out is shameful.
Really?
Shameful. Absolutely no regard for human beings. They want a new Pistols audience. Well, one that doesn't want the man what wrote the songs.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
That's some kind of new audience going for there. What is it they want? Fake?
Well, it's not Pistols, is it? It's not.
No.
I mean,
it's terrible, and they don't even want me to be telling you that I don't approve of this.
Yeah.
The management is sending us nasty little replies that I might be affecting the catalogue. Well, I hope so.
It's your catalogue. It's like,
I should have an effect on it.
Yeah. I mean,
and to presume that the effect of me and my credentials would be negative to the Sex Pistols is fucking preposterous.
That's ludicrous. Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, going back to what we touched on earlier, I mean, you talk about the connection you have with the fans, and those fans that have been with you from the Pistols through Public Image Limited.
Yep.
They can tell the fake from the non-fake. So
of course they can
see something that's dog shit that from the real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what's their reaction been like to
a shock? And I tell them, don't fret too much, because what it is they're doing now doesn't in no way stain how good it really was.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a pale, shadowy, weakened version made by spiteful, greedy, jealous people,
which is the
who,
music
quite
industry,
frankly,
right?
can't do anything on their own.
Yeah.
And so they've gone into destruction mode.
Yeah, I mean,
and the assumption that there'll just be millions and millions of record sales and a whole new audience. Thrilled with what?
Yeah.
If they were going to be really completely accurate, none of my songs should be in this mockumentary.
Yeah.
It should be just about them and their own merits as human beings. Well, that would be a very dull, limited pamphlet.
Yeah. I mean, the legacy.
It's hard not to sound bitter and twisted, because
no,
my
it's
words.
It's not about.
I have to state what it is.
It's your legacy. It's your life. It's you. You made it what it was. It's disgusting the way it's been treated and handled.
It's weird.
I mean, in terms of that, I mean, the Pistols. I mean, they had a short career in terms of being an actual band, but 50 years later, I mean, people are still talking about. You still have a massive impact on the music industry, on music in general.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
I'll say quite happily, I'm very proud. I'm still well respected.
Oh, absolutely, and you deserve it.
No matter what contamination they'd like to bring into that, I will still be respected. I think it's their lack of respect really will be their ultimate achievement.
Is it? I mean,
it's bad for me.
Yeah. Is it hard to not be able to just brush it off and say, well, fuck them, and just carry on?
You can't do that when it matters so much to you.
Yeah.
I don't write songs cheaply. I write them from my heart. Everything I've got is in them. That's the truth and nothing but. And to see that being poisoned in such an ignorant and arrogant way, it's beyond infuriating. Really hurtful.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of moving forward, then, I mean, obviously, public image limited your life and your priority. But what about your side of the Sex Pistols? Is there anything fans can expect, or is there anything you want to give fans that they've probably not already got?
No, because from here on in, I'll be outvoted. They have a monopoly.
Right.
They're led by one manager, and so I'm block voted on everything, no matter what they put up or suggest. I can say no, but it's ignored, and that's the outcome of that court case. And as I said, there'll be some pretty terrible things coming up, and I want the world to know it's not my fault. I've done my bit.
I mean, that's just a tragedy. That, you know, I don't know how to even follow that. That's disgusting to be treated like that. This kind of, like, from a legacy like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of leads again to our next question. Obviously, God Save the Queen's coming out, time for the Jubilee. What was your involvement in that?
Again, an idea put up, one I wouldn't go against because it's a limited edition. But somehow or other, they're trying to tie it into their mockumentary. And there's where I have problems, see, because the record company are working now against me. Obviously, the Disney Corporation and FX, and obviously all the band members.
Yeah.
They're out to completely disrespect what the original message was. It's just commerce to them.
Yeah.
And I think that indicates quite clearly that they never had any belief in the first place.
Right. Okay.
These are shallow interpretations of human beings.
But really, I mean, I'm taking there's a lot of friendships that have been lost then over the last few years.
I don't know if there ever was one, really.
Wow. Okay.
When you behave like that, that's, there's your 3 strikes in one fucking fell swoop.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not the first time they tried to pull this maneuver on me. The rock and roll swindle.
Yeah.
That was absolutely about trashing the band and trashing my name.
Yeah.
I won that court case. and I won everything outright. It's me what set it up that they get equal shares.
Yeah.
But of course, I wanted it that my opinion would be considered because I wrote the songs. I gave you the image, right? But now they're back at that swindle part in their minds that makes it all right. Just, there'll be new fans. This fantasy of new fans. It's absurdly stupid.
Yeah.
It's really like what you're looking for then is people as stupid as you.
That are just buying into a product, not a legacy of what the band's about.
Wow. Incredible. No ambition.
Yeah. But isn't that I mean, not taking anything away from the Pistols. I mean, that's just a marker of the music industry and the music. Probably generalizing, but the music buying public these days, it's a product rather than...
It would seem that a band that was dead against all this corporate manipulation has so willingly walked back into it.
Yeah. I mean...
And my name has to be excluded from anything and everything they put out from here on in.
Right. Are you not able to do, I don't want to say a John Lydon Sex Pistols, but something separate to that, a genuine...
Oh, yes, you say, nice idea. But the Three wouldn't grant permission for me to use my own songs.
Fucking hell.
All right?
Yeah.
That's how poisonous and deep this is.
Wow.
From a bloke who's always played fair. That's the reward I got from them.
Yeah. I mean,
there should be no forgiveness.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, what have you learned about?
With a smile, because frankly, life goes on. Do all the damage you can. Go on. Good luck to you. I wonder what you'll really get out of it in the end.
The thing is, I suppose from your point, you can go out and do these shows in June, July. Seeing that
I have a career. I'm a songwriter. I have an incredibly successful band called Public Image Limited, which is highly renowned.
Yeah, but you can see that, like we've said earlier, you see those fans singing your lyrics back and getting your songs. That must
they know that I'm genuine.
Everything.
They know I'm genuine.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, given what's going
Belfast is going to get a treat.
Perfect start.
The fabulous thing is I've just got to play Religion in Belfast.
Absolutely. It's going to be one of those career.
Just remind these folks to stop killing each other over bloody religion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, on that note, then, do you think? I mean, given the kind of political shit show that's gone on in the UK over the past couple of years, do you think a band, the UK needs a band like the Sex Pistols now? Do you think that would work now?
Yeah, it needs Johnny Rotten. That's what it needs.
Yeah.
It doesn't need the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because that lot will lead you astray. Does the world need Nigel Farage? Yes, he's so entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
I just love it. Does the world need Jordan Peterson? Yes, it does. Because he gives that correct, through proper analysis and qualified, he is, understanding of what's really going on with human beings. We need to get away from woke, and I need diversity in all my conversations.
Yeah.
I remember this. I'm a man who was banned from the BBC because I pointed out the child abuse that was going on there.
Did that surprise you? Did that surprise you when you got banned from the BBC?
It surprised me that they behaved so volatile. I thought they would be going, we should do something about this then, shouldn't we, John? Oh, no, the other way. They banned me.
Yeah, of course it was. I'm surprised.
This damaged my band Pill very seriously, because without airplay, people were just presuming we didn't exist.
Yeah.
Such as the monopoly that the BBC had then.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously changing now, but I mean, how difficult has it been for you to balance the John Lydon that's got an opinion that you want to tell people to the John Lydon that's got to toe the line because Pill's such a massive part of your life.
I don't tell nobody's lying. Well, here's an example of me doing that. No, puzzled.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm true to myself, and I'm true to my culture, and I'm true to the people I know are all around me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't step outside of that and fantasize and dictate. There's never been a song where I've told you, now you must all do this. This is the way. We go back to our bodies, you know. That's a song about abortion. It issues both sides.
Yeah.
And is most demanding in this way, that it expects an audience to make their own decision.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when I wrote that song, what was very, very important to me was a story my mother told me, that she almost didn't have me. She almost had an abortion because she couldn't cope with the pressure of it.
Wow.
All right. And that's a very, very hard thing for a mother to be telling her child, but that's the kind of open relationship we have, open and wise to the truth of the thing.
Yeah. I mean,
and that to me was the greatest act of love, that she could share that with me.
Yeah.
And no, I wouldn't run off in a hissy fit of, oh, you don't love me anymore. No, quite the opposite. You see, and so when I write a song like that, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. I was going to ask, I mean, we've talked about the kind of lessons you've learned from your experiences caring for Nora. I mean, what about your mother? I mean, what was the biggest lesson you learned from her? Because clearly she was a hugely important part of your life.
Oh my God, watching her die slowly of cancer in the hospital was absolutely unbearable.
Yeah.
Unbearable. And it's sad to say, you can actually at one point go, thank God she's died, because the suffering has stopped. Believe me, that is what crosses your mind. And believe me, you punish yourself wickedly for even having such a thought.
No,
but one of the most wonderful things that she asked me, was she going to die in hospital? And I said yes, and I wrote a song about it. I had to tell her the truth, you see. And she put on a brave face for others, but it was hard for her to face death like that. But she loved when I wrote the words out for Deaf Disco and sang them to her in hospital. You know, there's screaming agony in that song.
Yeah.
She just thought it was hilarious to put it to Swan Lake as a backdrop, and then a disco beat. So it's all these emotions all running at the same time, and the confusion and the terror.
Yeah.
And that's how I handled it. And my mum understood that.
Yeah.
Not so much my dad at the time. He thought, she's a raving fucking lunatic. He should have drowned you with the kittens.
Yep. Going forward then.
Yeah, so all these things are there. And religion. Again, that song. I mean, my mother wanted the last rites, but the priest wouldn't come to the hospital. Really? Unless he was, they wanted money.
Okay.
I've got to look after me drinking.
Yeah, enough said.
So there you go. Anyone who puts their faith in a religious organization run by human beings is a major league fool.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you on that score.
God is a personal thing between yourself and God, and no man or woman should be allowed to get in between and interpret what God said for you.
Yeah, individual choice.
Religion. Hello, Belfast.
We're back to Belfast again. Yeah.
It's a thrill to play somewhere that you've been kept away from.
Yeah. I mean, what's the kind of feeling been from fans now that you come in? I mean, I'm guessing there's a lot of excitement because you're very close to your fans. But I mean, what about those Irish fans that have seen you for the first time? What's the feedback been like?
Oh, no. I've played the South a few times. And I actually did play the North on the border a couple of years back with Pill. It was a gig sponsored and put together by the Irish Hells Angels in a town called Bangor. It's right on the border, and it was marvellous, and fun was had by all.
It's a beautiful country, though.
Oh, it's stunning. It's such a quaint little village. And they put up this mural on a bar connected to a hotel. It's about 60-foot high painting of me. And I thought, please take that down. It ruins the sensibility of this locale. And from the stage, I'd be looking at this and I was appalled. I don't want to be staring at a 60-foot high mural of myself all through a gig. But that's Ireland for you.
Absolutely. My first, I went to Belfast as a student. I studied at university with a guy from Ireland, from Northern Ireland, and I flew into Belfast to stay with him. And the first thing I saw when I got out of the airport was bullet holes in the wall and armored tanks, and it was like, oh, okay. So it's, I don't think you think it's real till you get there. Or it's not as real till you walk into it.
And it's very hard to make those that behave that violently see sense.
Yeah.
And they are a minority, and they absolutely destroy life for the rest of us.
Because
there are so many Putins in this world, it's very hard to understand. You know, that's the devil. It's not some ghost haunting your basement.
No, it's a real.
The devil is a human being.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Okay, just moving kind of forward then into away from kind of music and things. You've delved into digital art recently. What was that like? I mean, that's a very exciting new modern thing. What was that like? Because it's a whole minefield.
It is, but then there's this argument of, it creates a carbon footprint. and so, yes, and all of that. But we've connected with an organization called Paramilitary, TREE. Right, just in case anyone thinks I've joined a paramilitary organisation in Ireland.
Back to Belfast.
It's about planting trees all around Ireland.
Right. Okay.
Right, and so there you go, taking care of that. And Ireland is sadly lacking in trees. Every time I go back there, I just see a new golf course going up and a farm closing, and that upsets me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
and we're raising money for that, and also raising money for Alzheimer's victims, starting in Britain and expanding it to other areas in the world where musicians would take care of them financially to go and play in these care centres.
Yeah. Okay.
And would you use the word asylum? Wherever they lock away people who aren't much loved or regarded. And I know with Nora, oh my gosh, just going through songs and music off telly or whatever, or playing music, she really loves it. It really helps her mind focus. It's one of the major things that's sadly missing in their life. So I suppose at some time, Johnny's just going to have to go in on the old Joanna and do an Ease Up Mother Brown.
Yeah, I would come and see that. I would love to see that.
You know, and really make it enjoyable for them. It doesn't have to be note perfect. It's the sing along and the fun and the social and the jokes. The Tommy Cooper of it.
Oh, absolutely.
The Norman wisdom of it, where the real heart is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those genuine emotions.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I've read in articles where you've talked to people is you said comedy is a big part, an important part of your life. I mean, are we talking about people like Tommy Cooper and Norman Wisdom? What sort of thing makes you laugh?
Oh my God, they make Nora laugh no end, right?
Yeah.
The first time she came to England, she couldn't speak English very well, and she was learning off the TV, and it was getting her nowhere. So I introduced her to Norman and his and she just fell in love with it. Yeah. But in particular, Steptoe and Son.
Really? Yeah.
That situation comedy really, 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 she began to understand how English people think.
Yeah.
And behave, and what our real culture is, and it's still to this day we sit down. I've got the CDs and we'll play them at night. DVDs, sorry, right? And it would be just great. It really sparks like all manner of like super intelligent things come out of her.
Yeah.
That would be normally written off, you know, wheel them into a corner, let them look at this, look at the birds outside and ignore them. No, go this way.
Like that. Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. I grew up, my parents as a child, we used to live just outside Manchester, and they used to record all the radio shows. So I used to see all Les Dawson and people like that recording. And
Les Dawson was fantastic.
You used to sit there for hours in this recording studio, sweating your bollocks off. Just watching.
I loved that. Yeah, you know, when I was young, all this stuff meant something really, really good to me.
Yeah.
I could find wisdom in what they were saying. No matter how far tongue-in-cheek they went on the innuendo, it was all the better for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it got me into comedy because I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. But watching them, there was a
carry-on movies. Carry on. They're so silly, but that's the point, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. The problem is now people get so offended by them, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's
being offended is the humour.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just
There's no point in living if you can't laugh at yourself.
No, absolutely.
How ferociously woke is that?
Well, it'd be incredibly boring as well.
Oh.
I mean, just going back to.
Look, I haven't given up drinking. The Perrier going down real well.
I'm sorry, I've driven you to drink. In terms of like touring, I mean, there must have been, going right back to the beginning, there must have been, giving you a sense of humour, there must have been a lot of practical jokes going on tour. Or was it?
All done in good fun, yes. I mean, that's when we toured out, particularly with Pill, it's all on one bus. The crew are on there too.
Yeah.
And once we all know each other's personality traits, it's giggles galore.
I was going to ask, who's the biggest joke?
It's very much like a Viking raiding party with lupins thrown in.
Belfast won't have hit it.
And that's a reference to Lou Edmonds. Yes, that guy will crack anyone up. He's so fun.
I mean, who's the biggest practical joker you've toured with?
I don't know if it's like that. None of us would appreciate someone that would hog the limelight.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. One of the things, of course, on tour is that's how I got to see Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We rented the DVDs and we just absolutely, faithfully, rigidly, after a gig, run onto that bus and watch that into the wee hours of the morning. Because that again, that's a modern classic.
Yeah. What about others? What are the favourites? Are there? What's on the tour bus DVD player?
Well, it won't be I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Well,
just comedy, always. You can't sit there and watch a super analytical, pseudo-political science movie.
No.
There's not enough time in life to waste on that.
Yeah.
And it's so devoid of life. And I think that the absolute essence of a human being is the comedy.
Yeah.
Now, the sociopaths and narcissists of this world have no understanding of that at all.
Yeah.
And as soon as you smell one of them around you, get the hell out of their company or get them out of yours.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, just kind of close to wrapping things up now. I mean, you mentioned I'm a Celebrity. Obviously, the butter.
I don't know why I brought that up. So
why did you bring that up? I'd kind of been watching that earlier, and it was.
I probably meant Jester.
Yeah. I mean, just on that. I mean, you picked Jester. I mean, was there a particular reason you chose?
Yeah, they made the offer while I was doing that stupid court case, and I thought, well, oh my God, great! Nora loves this show. She just loves it. The silly outfits and guessing who the singers are. So I jumped to the opportunity.
Yeah.
I was completely knackered. It was straight out of that thing. and into that. I mean, 3 days there, I was bouncing around in my self-designed, with a little help from my friend's costume.
It looked fantastic.
It was great fun. And when I sat down, because I pre-recorded it for Nora, I wanted all my family and friends around and watch it together and make out, oh, what's this? Who's that? And she guessed. She went, Johnny! Oh, what a reward. That was the total ambition of it.
Yeah.
That it would just bring tears to her eyes with laughter.
Did you not want to get one over on her, though?
Never. It's not like that. That's sharing. That's sharing. That's like, I half suspected she'd get it. I was hoping so. And it showed it. There you go, you know? Yeah. For all the demons of that illness, there's still the humanity in there.
Yeah.
How great to be able to unlock that for her every now and again.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, well, you try singing in them rubber masks, and the weight of that outfit was pure torture.
Yeah, but it was. I bet it was worth it though to see our face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to do things for the right reasons in life.
Yeah.
Anyone who thinks that going on to that show is going to improve their career.
I was going to ask you that.
That's a sad indictment if you think it's a career you have to be there.
Yeah, that's not a good place to be, is it? I was going to ask, what do you think the Johnny Rotten of the 1970s would have said if he'd have been offered something like that, or I'm a Celebrity, or...
He'd be fucking well up for it.
You think so?
Same saucy bugger here. You know, we don't follow those kind of rules. You can't do this, you can't do that. Right? If you want to know what the punk manual is, ask me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. There's the difference, right? And in my world, I want all of the world. I want all the efforts and good things that people do to be equally shared and not castigated because they don't fit into a narrow blinkered tunnel vision of what is or isn't.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay.
I should be a politician. That was rather good.
Yeah. Okay, just to finish off then, I just wanted to dip back to the spoken word tour you did last year. You've had a massive career. From the Sex Pistols to Public Image Limited, the TV adverts, I'm a Celebrity, Masked Singer, the spoken word tour. You're
well, like I was saying, it jumps in many directions.
Yeah. But and those fans
and the music shape shifts too. I will never ever allow myself to be stuck in one single category, because that's, for me, would be death.
Yeah. Just like we've said, the fans have been with you from day one. Have you ever done a spoken word show and been kind of sideswiped by a question that you've just not expected?
Well, when I did the book tour, people were expecting me to sit there and just read out the chapters. It's like, no, that ain't going on. Right? You either want the book or not. But this is about meeting you all, and anybody got any questions for me? So it was very akin to going into a country pub and finding that your heart was in the same place as all of the locals.
Right.
You had that bond and that connection, and all done because it's just the way I am, in a comedic way.
Yeah.
Because I find that to be the most truthful point and purpose of communication, is to see the fun in it.
Absolutely. And
the dead serious need not apply.
Absolutely. 44 years later, Public Image Limited, you've got another tour coming up. Have you got a message for those fans that are coming out again and supporting you again?
Oh yeah, expect the unexpected.
Nothing less.
That's an absolute must, and that's why people stay loyal with me. I'm true to myself.
It's a great
absolutely
quality.
The songs will never lose their value, their point, or their purpose, because it's all about humanity. I write from the heart, what I genuinely feel and experience. And that can, from my mind and my band's, and this is what Peel is, that sometimes some of those emotions can require a different musical backdrop.
Yeah. I mean,
if we were just trying to ram all this into 3 chords, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
We'd end up like The Fall, one song forever.
No comment. No comment.
I love The Fall, but you know, I'm not falling for it.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of going forward, then what are your plans after this tour then for Pill?
Immediately go into recording.
Right. Okay. Because there's nothing at the moment, is there, new music wise? There's nothing.
There can't be. We can't perform new songs live. The copyright will be stolen. You know. And we need the money from the live performances to be able to get into a studio. We've already pre-booked the studios. At the end of the tour, we go straight in to record. But there's a limited amount of time and an intense amount of pressure. But by God, we're the kind of fellas that we really thrive, you know, when the hammer's on you, you know.
Down the hatches and get on with it.
Yes, and ain't that a proper working class attitude, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, or British, stiff upper lip.
Stiff upper lip.
No surrender.
It's a great quality to have. Well, yeah, I mean that I've pretty much covered everything. It's been really great talking to you. I'm hoping we can get to one of the shows in June. I think you're coming to Leeds, so hopefully we can carry this conversation on.
Oh my God, the Leeds, the book show was fantastic. Oh my God, the Leeds audience, they really, really, really.
Oh, they're always up for a good night.
Oh, and we turned that into a karaoke sing-song session. You know, nothing wrong with ABBA.
Absolutely not. And I'm expecting the same when you come to Leeds in June. So
absolutely. Can you tell me what that painting on the wall behind you is? It's kind of pseudo Elvis.
No, it's well, I work as a photographer when I'm kind of away from this. I started out as a journalist years ago. Do you remember Malcolm Dome and Jerry Ewing, classic rock? Well, they were kind of my mentors, and then I moved into band photography and photography in general. That's the band Linkin Park. It's
I wouldn't have guessed it. It has a Joe Strummer vibe, but I'm looking at it at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, it's
Oh, there you go. He's holding a microphone. I thought he was holding a Pinocchio mask.
No, it's something
strange. But that's why I love art and things. You know, they're open to interpretation.
Yeah.
They're not dictatorships.
No, totally. It's your own interpretation. I totally agree with that. But like I said, I mean, it's been brilliant talking to you. I've had such fun. And I'm hoping we can carry this on in Leeds if we get a chance.
Yeah.
I'm sure, we could talk about plenty more. But yeah, I mean, is there anything you want to say just to wrap this up?
Yeah, I'd like to show you what I'm doing with this at the moment.
Oh,
this is my current painting. Just try and get that properly there for you. Yeah. You can just see Nora in here, in the back of the head, right? And I'm going to submerge that. And then there's a few boats and things in there. That's a storm at sea and a huge tsunami heading our way. But we're already fish-like. We can survive it.
We can survive that. It's easy. What are the other paintings? What other paintings have we got?
Oh, I don't have many in this room, so there you go. But I paint a lot. And this might indeed be going to NFT.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
We can raise a lot of money that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, who knows? I mean, it's like all these things. They promise you the world, and then it's a pittance.
Yeah, it's still worth it though when it's going to a good cause.
Well, if I'm painting, I might as well find a way, an outlet to make an earning in it, and by earning, help others.
Yeah,
it's my nature.
Is that something you're going to sell at shows or anything like that? Is that like kind of merch?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not that industrious at painting that they'd be like, oh, and here's another one. An endless collection. I know there are people in music who do that. They paint like just consistently, but I don't know. I'm not that way. I have to spend time on it and go into depth and make sure it's as full of imagery as it possibly can be to convey the thought I'm trying to share.
Well, I mean, what do you get out of doing that? Because it's obviously a very different mentality to getting up on stage and performing.
What I get out of it is a remembrance of the local school library, not school. The schools never helped me. When I was recovering from meningitis, I lost my memory. It took 4 years for it to come back properly.
Right.
And the library, which I would go to after school, was led to, because I didn't have any real, no knowledge of where anything was anymore, but they got me back into painting and reading, and I've just got such fond memories of that, and the joy I got out of the art instructor saying it doesn't have to be centered, you don't have to follow rules, you don't need to blend colors in specific laws, and that sense of freedom, it's there. And I will always respect it. And it reminds me of a terrible time. Again, losing my memory. This is my empathy with Nora. I've been through similar.
Yeah. I mean,
the difference being that with meningitis and the memory loss, the memories came back. Painful, some of them. But with Nora, she's losing.
Yeah. I can empathise with that. With my grandparents was the same. So I can empathise with that. I mean, just touching on,
it's a tough battle, but by God, she deserves to share it.
Yeah,
and not feel alone.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she doesn't with you by her side.
Oh no, I'm public nuisance.
Get the hell out of here. I mean, just go back. Just interestingly, I mean, what your art teacher told you, is that something you took into your music?
Yeah,
it's very similar. It's a very similar.
It doesn't have to all be perfect. If the emotion is there and it achieves an emotional response, that is exactly why you should be doing it that way. I could honestly say I've never really sat and listened to a well-produced, well-structured, highly musical, competently album and found much joy in that at all.
Yeah, that I was going to ask. I mean, what?
Look, I love reggae because an early reggae, that was full of mistakes that were genius.
But that, I mean, that goes back to
the bands I loved were the bands that didn't give a toss about it having to sound exactly like the record, It's probably why I don't like the Beatles. They always tried too hard to sound exactly like the recording. I like the chaos factor. It's got real humanity in it. That's where the joy is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that I didn't mention this. I just wondered what your thoughts were on the kind of TikTok, Snapchat generation of music bands. But I suppose that ties back to what we said earlier about the music industry having no soul anymore and it being about a product rather than.
TikTok's got no soul at all. It just appears to be a bunch of very confused people that want to imitate Japanese anime.
That's not the way we want to go, especially not with our music.
It's all right for them. I wouldn't dream of telling them, don't you dare.
Yeah.
That's by all means, but don't tell me what I shouldn't do. Should it be of equal import to them?
I think I would be terrified of telling you what to do.
So you should, because it would be wrong.
Absolutely. But
make suggestions by all means. I mean, I'm always open to debate. If I make errors in my life, I expect the people around me, and those not even around me, to tell me where I went wrong. And I will then understand that.
Yeah.
You have to be able to switch trains. Otherwise, the one you're on may go over the cliff.
Yeah, we can't do with that.
If you can't follow wrong, it's always in life getting it right. That has to be the point and purpose. Get it right. And other minds out there can help you absorb their knowledge and expand your universe. Otherwise, you're living in a very shitty, selfish box.
Yeah, brilliant. I think that's a great way to end it as well.
A coffin of your own making.
Yeah, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Brilliant. Well, like I said, I think we can wrap it up there. It's been great talking to you.
Good on you, sir.
And like I said, I'm can't wait to see the shows. I'm hoping I can catch you in Leeds. So I'm very much looking forward to carrying on this conversation with you at some point soon.
Yeah, and it's so vitally important that I be my best too. This has always been my problem, so bear with me.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I just don't like to disappoint.
No, but those fans keep
It's
turning
criminally insane to be a performer of any kind and not be aware that you can let people down. You have to be responsible to others and share your emotions in the most proper, honest, heartfelt way. And that's a punishing regime, but my God, the reward. Oh.
Yeah, seeing those fans singing those lyrics back at you night after night after night, wherever you are in the world, it can't be a feeling like it.
It's not quite so much as the sing-along, it's the sharing. See genuine tears in tearful moments, and genuine happiness in genuinely happy moments.
Yeah.
Because that's what life is, a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And we can't avoid the bad. It can't all be good.
No,
because
absolutely.
the good isn't worth nothing
without
the moments of grief. And so there you go. Every experience in life is ultimately a reward. And that's what I've learned.
Perfect.
Thank you for letting me share that.
No, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been a real honor talking to you. And
good on you.
And
you the man.
You're the man. Thank you for your time.
Peace, sir.
Yeah, take care.
In the road, rise, enemies always be behind you, men, just scatter, fatter, batter, and shatter.
Perfect.
Irish rap.
Thank you for that. That's a great way to end. Have a great day.
It was a good talk. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for your time.
All right, sir.
Take care. I'll speak to you soon.
Peace. If you don't like peace, you can peace off.